Welcome to the Effortless English Show with the world's #1 English teacher, AJ Hoge, where AJ's more than 40 million students worldwide finally learn English once and for all, without the boring textbooks, classrooms, and grammar drills. Here's AJ with a quick piece to help you learn to speak fluent English effortlessly.
I am AJ Hoge, author of Effortless English. Learn to speak English like a native. Join my VIP program at effortlessenglishclub.com, effortlessenglishclub.com, and join our challenge, which is free. Our challenge we're doing right now, we're doing a conversation challenge this time. 3 months. Talk to people in English as much as you can. You can do it online. And we started at April 20th was our official starting time. You can still join now if you're a little bit late. It's okay. Just go to gab.com and add a video of yourself talking. So a 2-minute video of yourself talking. I just added my own video. I added my 30-day video because I started 1 month early. Because I'm doing our challenge, and I'm also doing a challenge with Benny Lewis's group. It's called fluentin3months.com. It's a very nice group, and it's for other languages, so not English. It's for people are doing all different languages. I'm doing Japanese. So I've been doing this for about 30 days. I did a lot of talks. I did, I think, 14 chats in 1 month. So it's about every second day, right? So that averages to about 30 minutes a day. I was chatting in Japanese. And then I also did review of vocab, right? Using the gold list method is what I'm using for vocabulary review. So I missed a couple days in there, but only a couple in a month, which isn't bad. So I got a lot of Japanese in. I think my Japanese improved a little bit, just a little more relaxed and a little more confident using what I know already. I don't know how much new stuff I learned, but I certainly got at least a little more comfortable using what I know. And that's probably I'm guessing that's the first improvement you will see also. I think that's probably quite common in 1 month's time. It's hard to learn a lot of vocab or phrases or something in just 1 month. But I think what you will notice if you do a lot of speaking, when you do a lot of speaking in your first month of this challenge, and you're talking to lots of people, and hopefully you're talking every day in English or almost every day, I think you will notice that you'll get more relaxed and more confident about speaking English. You'll start to enjoy it more because you get used to it. You don't get there's no more nervousness anymore, even if you make mistakes. Today we're going to talk about beliefs. Our beliefs and why beliefs are important. So this is continuing our book club. Tony Robbins' book, Notes from a Friend. This is chapter 4. It's about beliefs. And we'll talk about what is a belief exactly, and we all kind of know what a belief is, but what exactly is a belief? Like, how do you create a belief in your mind? And why are beliefs important? Right? Why are beliefs so important for our happiness, for our success, right? To have a good experience in life. It's very important that you choose your beliefs. And I think that's perhaps the main point, one of the main points of this chapter in the book, that we need to think about our beliefs very carefully and choose our beliefs. And we must be careful about having negative beliefs, especially about ourselves, right? It's very important because all the world is out there trying to put beliefs into your head. I mean, that's what television does. That's what movies do. That's what, all forms of media, newspapers, magazines, that's what they're doing to you. You think they're just trying to make you laugh. That you think they're just showing you an action movie. You think it's just entertainment. It's not. It's all about programming certain beliefs into your mind. That's what the movies are doing. That's what the television is doing to you. All media. They want you to have certain beliefs, and those beliefs are not healthy for you. They're not good for you. They're good for the people who are rich and powerful and control the world. So you've got to be very careful. You probably have a lot of beliefs in your mind that are not helpful to you, that are not healthy for you, that are not true. Right? We all have these. Schools also. Schools, I always talk about school and the media are probably the two main brainwashing methods of the modern world. And you have to, if you can, avoid them. And if you've already been exposed, we've all been exposed somewhat, you have to unprogram yourself, deprogram yourself, right? So you got to look at your beliefs very carefully, find the ones that are negative, that are unhealthy, and then change them and create strong, powerful beliefs, beliefs that make you feel good, beliefs that make you happy, beliefs that make you confident, beliefs that give you more success in life, beliefs that are more true. So we're going to talk about that. Welcome everyone who's joining live. All right, let's see. Let's go to the chapter right now. And I'll go through it, and then we'll come and discuss it live. All right, I'm just going to change so you can see my screen. Those of you watching on video, screencast. Yes, there we go. Show camera, different camera. All right, here we go. Right, oops, sorry. I got a little cover on my screen there. Okay, so build your beliefs and blast off. Move this a little bit. Okay, build your beliefs and blast off. Okay, so Tony starts, he says, there is a force that controls all of your decisions. This is why beliefs are important, because how do you decide what to do in life? How do you decide what things mean? How do you decide what's important? Your beliefs will determine, right, a lot of that, right? So beliefs are like programs. I think you can kind of think of a belief as like software in your brain, okay? It's like having a certain program. And, we know some programs, some software has a lot of bugs and crashes a lot and doesn't work and can cause problems for your computer. And some programs work really well and are very powerful and help you to, do great work on your computer. They work very well. Well, it's kind of like your own mind. So, I think a lot of people are very passive about their beliefs. They've got all these beliefs in their head, but they don't really know where they came from. They don't really think about their beliefs. Why do I believe that? They don't ask themselves this. They don't examine. They don't look at their beliefs. And they don't consciously choose beliefs. This belief is not helping me. I'm going to get rid of it. This belief's a good one. I'm going to make it stronger. Okay? Because, I said most of people we get all these beliefs in our head that come from the outside that we didn't really think about or choose. And they're like all these little programs, right? That's what brainwashing is. It's called conditioning in psychology. Conditioning. It's a kind of programming, mental programming. So beliefs determine how you feel about anything that occurs in your life. Let me just rephrase that. Beliefs determine, cause, how you feel about anything that happens in your life. Right? So something happens in your life. You win $1 million. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Well, it could mean a lot of things, right? What it means, you'll decide based on your beliefs. Maybe it means you're lucky. Maybe it means, you have an opportunity to help other people. Maybe it means it's time to party. Who knows? So beliefs determine how you feel about anything. So beliefs can cause feelings. Beliefs can cause actions. This makes them very, very, very important. Beliefs are very powerful, Tony says. You've got to be careful about what you choose to believe, especially about yourself. Choose to believe. I like that phrase because it's just something that people don't think about. Choose to believe. Choose to feel. I think both of those things, feelings and beliefs, we are taught, we are conditioned, we are brainwashed maybe, to think they happen to us, right? Oh, I feel angry. Like it just happens. Like you have no control over it. Or I believe I'm not good at math. You think, oh, well, that's just true. It just happens. But maybe it's not true. Maybe in fact, that's not true. That quite often it's wrong. The truth is maybe you did not have success in math in the past. The truth might be that you didn't like math in the past. But, with different methods, with more motivation, in fact, you might be very good at math if you studied it in different ways, if you had different teachers, if you used different methods, right? So you can see, though, but if you have a belief, I'm bad at math, then that belief will then cause you to avoid math, and then indeed you will be bad at math for maybe your whole life. It's possible, right? So beliefs are very powerful, and that's why we need to choose them. We need to choose our beliefs, and we need to try to choose our emotions as much as possible. So Tony talks about beliefs, powerful beliefs he has that make his life happier and more successful. He chose these beliefs. Right? They're not an accident. Number one, there's always a way to turn things around if I'm committed. So Tony believes this. Turn things around, change things. There's always a way to change things if I'm committed. So he has this belief that any situation can be changed in his own life if he's committed, if he's strongly motivated. Another one he has. There are no failures in life. As long as I learn anything from something, I have succeeded. So this is a very nice belief, right? You can see how this would make his life, make him more confident. It would make him take more action. It would make him learn more. It would make him less afraid of mistakes, right? Because he believes there are no failures. There's just learning. If he learns, then he still succeeds, even if he doesn't get his goal. Next belief, he says, God's delays are not God's denials, which is an idiom in English. So just because he's not having success now, maybe he's having some difficulties, he didn't achieve his deadline for his goal, it doesn't mean it's never going to happen. It just means that it might be later. So you can see that belief would cause him to keep going, to keep trying, not quit. The past does not equal the future. That's a very important one. This is one Tony talks about constantly. If you go to his seminars, he talks about this one a lot. The past does not equal the future. It's a very important belief because we get stuck, right? We get stuck looking back. Our body was weak when we were younger, or it's been weak in the past, so we think, oh, it's always going to be weak in the future. But that's not true. You might have a very weak body, and maybe your whole life until now, but you can get stronger. There are many ways to do it, right? Maybe you were unhealthy in the past, but you can become healthy, right? You had bad experiences with English in the past, but you can speak English fluently, right? The past does not equal the future. And then the final one he talks about, in any moment, I can change my entire life by making a new decision. So he has this belief that a new decision can change his life completely. That's all he needs to do is make one decision, one good decision, and he can completely change his life for the better, even if things are very bad now. So you can see these are all very strong positive beliefs, right? And he's really focusing on beliefs about himself. So what he's talking in this book, in this chapter, is beliefs about yourself. Those are the most important beliefs. We might believe, the earth is flat. Okay? That's a belief about the earth. It's probably not going to affect your life very much. It doesn't matter really what you believe about that. But what you believe about yourself will have a huge effect on your happiness, on your decisions, on your actions, on the results you get, on your feelings. So in this chapter, we're really talking about beliefs about yourself and your own life. So next he says, what is a belief exactly? We all have a general idea, but he says a belief's not a real thing. It's not real. It doesn't exist. You can't touch a belief. You can't hold it in your hand. It's a feeling. He says a belief is a feeling of certainty. A feeling of certainty about what something means. I think he's right about that. It's a feeling. It's an emotion. Belief is really an emotion about an idea. It's an emotion about an idea. So he gives an example. You say, I believe I am intelligent. I believe that I am intelligent. What does it mean? It means I feel certain. I feel certain that I'm intelligent. Right? I don't have doubts. Right? If I'm not sure, if I'm like, I don't know, am I intelligent? I'm not intelligent. Well, then I don't really believe I'm intelligent, right? Because I'm not certain. Right? But the more certain I am, like 100%, I feel I am intelligent. That means I believe I'm intelligent. So belief is a feeling of certainty. So it's an emotion about an idea. So how do we turn an idea into a belief? Right? So you want to choose the most powerful ideas that will help you in life. And then you want to make them into beliefs. It means you want to make them certain. You want to feel certain. I am confident. You can say it right now. It's an idea. I am confident. Maybe you don't feel it though. Maybe you feel shy. Maybe you feel nervous all the time. Right? So how do you become certain? How does it become a real belief, not just an idea? So he gives an example to think about a table with legs under it, right? You can see, if you're watching on the video, you can see in this next picture, there's this little round table of the guy, and he's putting legs under the table. And he says, like, the tabletop, that's like your belief, and the legs are experiences in your life that support the belief. So the more legs, right, the more experiences you can find in your life, that you have in your life, to support that belief, the stronger it becomes, right? The more stable, right? A table with one leg, it just falls over. A table with two legs falls over. A table with three legs, now it's more stable. Maybe not super stable, but it's going to stand. A table with 100 legs, you're not going to knock it down. It's super stable, right? It's not going to fall. It's super strong. That's the idea. So what you have to do is you have an idea. Let's say I am a good English speaker, or I can succeed with English. But then you look in your past and you think, oh, I failed a lot. So you don't feel certain. So what do? You have to find some experiences. You have to find in your past some examples when you succeeded, when you have some kind of success with English. Maybe you chatted with somebody and it was a good experience. You had a nice conversation with somebody. Maybe you read something and you understood most of it. Maybe you listened to a podcast from me and you're understanding, 70, 80%. Wow, that's a success, right? So you kind of look for all these things in your life and you find them, you can write them down so that you start to find lots of examples that support this belief that you can succeed at English, that you are getting better in English, right? That you're actually quite good at English. So he says, how do you decide what belief is true? Remember, beliefs are just ideas. They're just feelings about ideas. They're not real. You can't hold them and touch them. So you, for example, you're English. You could decide I'm bad at English. You could decide that you're good at English. Which one's true? Maybe they're kind of both true. It depends on what you compare, right? Who you compare yourself to. If you compare yourself to me, a native speaker, I've been learning English since I was a baby, then you could say, oh, I'm bad at English. I'm not as good as AJ. I'm not as good as a native speaker, right? And I've met people like this who are quite advanced, actually, and they still think they're bad at English. Right? Or if you compare yourself to yourself, you compare yourself to yourself 5 years ago as a beginner, you would realize, oh, I've improved so much. I'm actually quite good at English now. Right? So it's just which one are you going to focus on? And so the question is, well, which one should you choose? And you should choose the one that will give you more motivation, more happiness, and more success in the future. I think so. The one to choose is that you're good at English, right? That you are confident in English. You can succeed with English, and you can continue succeeding. Tony says you can choose what to believe about yourself. Again, this word choose. The idea is that it's a choice. This is the main thing. You're choosing. It doesn't just happen to you. You actually create your own beliefs. You choose them. What you're doing is you're programming your own brain, right? It's like writing a program for your own brain. That's what this process is like. Now you may think, like, what if I don't have any good experiences to make those legs for the table, right? Well, I don't have any. Well, then you have to go out there and create those experiences. That's what this challenge is about with our English challenge. Maybe you think, oh, well, in the past I've never talked in English much. I've never had much of a conversation. I don't have any of those good experiences. Well, this month, next month, and the next 3 months, you'll join this challenge. You'll start talking to people, and maybe the first time it doesn't go well. Oh, you struggle a lot. But then you have another one and another one and another one. And then after 3 months, you will have so many conversations in English. You will have so many experiences where you are really communicating in English with another person, that your confidence will grow so much. You will really feel certain, I can speak English. I can speak English well. I can communicate in English. Of course, you can always improve, but you get the idea. That's what I think the main thing this challenge is going to do is going to change your beliefs about and your feelings about speaking English. And you will also improve your speaking too. All right, that's all for this chapter. All right, let's get into our questions and comments now. Yes, Sriracha says, I believe in myself. I can do it. Exactly. That's a nice belief. That's a nice general belief. You can have also very specific beliefs about something, right? Like a very specific thing. I am very good at languages. That's a very specific belief about one little area of your life. And you can also have very general beliefs like this, like Sriracha says, I believe in myself. I can do it. I can do, anything I need to do. I can overcome problems. These are very big general ones. Those are also important. Okay, so let's see. Ahmed says, don't you think the past has a huge effect on one's mentality that can determine some aspects of their future? Yeah, of course. And that's why you have to be very careful about it. But it's for most people, the past does equal the future. People get stuck. It's dangerous. It means mentally it's dangerous. Emotionally it's dangerous because we can get stuck in the past where we really start to believe the past equals the future. We think because something happened to us in the past or because we were a certain way in the past, then it must always be that way. And that's not true. So yes, most people do think that, but it's wrong. And it's a very dangerous belief. I think it's even dangerous sometimes in a positive way, right? Like you can meet people who were, for example, you'll meet people who were athletes, right? They were good at some sport. when they were in high school, and now they're 40, and they still focus on, oh, I was great at soccer when I was, I was great. Oh, soccer, I'm still good at soccer. I'm great, even though they don't do it anymore. And they're just focused on their past, what they were successful in the past, but then it makes them maybe do nothing in the now, right? Instead of focusing on now and exercising now and doing a sport now, maybe even playing soccer now, they just focus on their past success, and they sort of avoid doing anything now because they're probably afraid to fail, right? So I think we learn from the past, but we got to let it go emotionally. We have to let it go and try to create our present and the future. Okay, let's see. Romolo says, the most important is to know that sometimes we need to change the way we think. Our beliefs are our foundation to live a good life, so build a good and healthy beliefs. Right, exactly. It's very much, I like the idea of it's like a program, so we have to be careful and build the right programs for our brain. Program ourselves. Don't let the media program you. Don't let other people program you. Don't let schools program you. Program yourself. Choose your programs. Fernando Diaz says, one belief I used to have was that it would be difficult to meet people from many countries for English practice. I was wrong. I changed my mind about it. I've had nice and wonderful conversations. Exactly. Get on our Gab group. You can see on the screen, gab.com, AJ Hoge. Go there, join the Gab group. You can meet a lot of people to chat with. It's not hard. Abdul Hamid says, I used to be a genuinely confident and happy person and talented, but some trauma happened to me. It switched me into zero confidence and low esteem. I'm stuck in my past. I lost my abilities, which I used to have. Right, and this is right. This can happen to us. Some bad things happen to us, and then this is the danger. The bad thing happens, and it's natural to be upset about it and depressed about it and feel pain about it, whatever it is. But then what we have to be careful is we don't let it then change us for the rest of our life, which is what he's talking about, or she. I think it's he. So you've got I don't know what, trauma. I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but you have to find a way to overcome it, right? So let's say maybe you're bullied in the past. So you, like when you were younger or a teenager, right? You're bullied, other kids would be mean to you. And this created this trauma. It made you feel less confident. Well, how would you deal with that? You could, just try to change your beliefs about it. But I think you need to create new experiences. So maybe you learn how to fight. Maybe you go sign up for MMA. You go to an MMA gym, mixed martial arts gym, and you train MMA for a few years, and you learn to actually fight. You don't have to become a professional. You just get a basic skill in fighting. That would build your confidence. It'll give you a lot of experiences where you realize, oh, I can fight. I right? And you could also maybe do some course about public speaking or about what's called verbal self-defense, talking, how do you tell people to leave you alone, go away, that kind of thing. And then after a couple of years, you would become very confident. You would overcome that trauma of being bullied, for example. Yeah, Bertalan says, our patterns from the past are very stubborn. They can be. We have to disregard those patterns which are holding us back and focus on our beliefs which take us to a better life. Exactly right. Yep. That's right. And the first step is just to recognize, right? To look at your patterns and think. Because it's hard. A lot of times we have beliefs, we don't even realize them. We had them a long time and we don't realize we have this belief that's causing problems for us. So sometimes it's good to look. When you're having a problem in your life, you think, why am I having this problem all the time? Like, what do I believe about this? And you might find that, I actually have a lot of negative beliefs about this. And the first step is I need to try to change these, figure out a way to change these. Khalifi, good to see you as always. If you believe you can, you are right. If you believe you cannot, you are right. Your results depend on your beliefs. Be wise and choose strong beliefs. That's a nice phrase. Choose strong beliefs. Thank you, Sriracha says. You're my inspiration and role model. Thank you. Thank you, Sriracha. Thank you. Tiago Silva, hey, good to see you. Enzo Pellini says, everything's achievable. Do you think it's a good idea to lose one's accent on the path to improving English? I'd say, for pronunciation, the main point is, are you understandable to most people? Right? So in other words, is it causing a problem for you? Right? When you speak, do people not understand you because of your accent? Then yes, you probably should work on your pronunciation. However, if you just have a little bit of an accent, but everyone understands you, fine. It's up to you. It's your decision, but you probably don't need to do it. If you want to, certainly that's totally fine. Some people like to get as close as possible to a native accent of some kind, but a little bit of an accent I don't think causes. It's fine. No problem. All right, I'm just going to go back a little bit towards the beginning, just see if I missed any. Hi from Emir Acosta says, hi from Morelia, a city in Mexico. You are an excellent English teacher, mentor. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Jawan Mard says, when I talk to American people, I can't hear every word clearly. What do you think? Well, you just need more time. You need more practice. It takes time. You're going to miss some of it. So just have more conversations. Listen more, like podcasts, audiobooks, etc. Okay, I think it looks good. Gully says, I can understand English well, I can speak well, but I can't find someone in real life to speak with. I don't want to just speak in social media. Well, that's a challenge, depending where you live. If you live somewhere and there are not a lot of people to speak English, or you can't find groups, you might live in a very small town somewhere, then use Skype, use Line, have video calls with people. It's great. A lot of people really enjoy that. I think that's fantastic. You can do that. If you live in a larger city, you should be able to find people to speak English with, at least other people who are learning English, So get online and search for like English chat groups or social groups or international groups, that kind of thing in your city. If the city's big, you should be able to find it, especially English, which is so international. So if you're really wanting that face-to-face, I think you can find people, unless you're in a very small town. Eunice says, hello from Chechnya. Hello. Oh, Saul says, I want to thank you for everything you've done with these lessons. You don't know how much improvement I did watching your videos every day. Fantastic. Thank you. Okay. Oh, nice. So Korchi says, hello, AJ. It's the first time that I comment. Just want to tell you my English has improved just by listening to your videos. Good. Thank you so much. I'm still struggling with my speaking. Join our challenge right now. Join it. Your speaking will improve, especially if your listening's good already. Yeah, Fernando Diaz says, I changed my belief about speed and accent. I don't need to speak very quickly. No, you don't. I don't need to have the most native accent to be understood. Correct. I just take it easy and enjoy the connection with people. Exactly. Take it easy and enjoy communicating. That's a great change in belief. See, that's a great, because some people do have this idea they must speak exactly like a native or else they're no good. That's crazy. You don't need a perfect American accent or a perfect British accent. You don't need that. If you want that because you like it, it's fun, you just want to do it, great. But don't make yourself stressed out about it. You don't need it. If you want it, okay, but you don't need it. Right? You just need a clear enough pronunciation to be understood. Now, sometimes that is difficult for some people. And then you should do my pronunciation course or some other way to improve your pronunciation, okay? But it doesn't need to be perfect. And the same about speaking speed. You can speak quite slowly. It's totally fine. Many native speakers speak slowly. I speak fairly slowly myself, naturally. It's okay to speak slowly. Now, again, if you're super slow, like, you can't really make sentences. That's obviously a problem. But you don't need to become a super fast speaker. It's not necessary, okay? I think relaxing and enjoying is probably the most important thing, just like Fernando says. Yeah, Amina says, don't stop believing in yourself no matter what happens. You can play that Journey song. Don't stop, Uh-huh. Oh, cool. Ali says, I've listened to about half of all your podcasts. That's a lot. My English is soaring nowadays. Soaring means flying. That's great. Ahmed says, how do you handle different accents? For example, there are more than 40 accents in America. Yeah, well, you focus on the standard accents. So there may be 40 accents in America, but there is a standard accent. First of all, those accents there's only a few accents that are really different. So for example, a Midwest accent, a Western accent, California accents are pretty close. They're generally the same. Californians have certain like little ways they might of speaking that are a little different than someone from Indiana, which is in the Midwest. But overall, the general pronunciation of words and phrases is very, very, very similar. So it's standard. This is the standard American accent that you hear. It's the most common. Even and this is even regional accents like Southern accents. So I'm from the South, and even living in the South, you don't meet a lot of people now who have super strong Southern accents. They tend to be kind of light. Yes, there are plenty of people in the South that have Southern accents, but you kind of have to go out in the countryside usually to meet people with very, very strong Southern accents. People who live around cities and suburbs tends to be pretty mild, pretty soft. So, and there are New York accents that can be quite strong. And I know there can be variations in New York and Boston, but you just focus on the standard one, and that's going to cover almost everybody. Greetings from Panama, says Emilio Lopez. Greetings to Panama. No, we got a few people from Panama here. And someone from Spain. And Brazil, as usual. Lots of Brazilianos. How do you say it in Portuguese? Let's see. A couple more, and then time to go. Emilio Lopez says, your diction is excellent. This allows your audience to understand your assertions without a problem. Congratulations. Yes, I have a nice, standard, clear American accent. Oh, and I'm from the South. People from the South tend to speak a little more slowly. It's not always, but often. So I speak probably a little more slowly than average, naturally. And have a nice, clear, standard American accent. And I don't use a lot of slang. So these are probably the three reasons that I'm easier to understand for many of you. Many of you will say, oh, I can understand you easily, AJ. Other people, I struggle sometimes. Well, the other people might be speaking much faster. They might be using a lot of slang and idioms. And they might indeed have some, maybe less clear pronunciation. Fardin says, I'm reading Brave New World. It's an easy book for me. Oh, you're reading it in English. That's impressive. By the way, it's a terrifying book. It's terrifying because it's already happened. We're in Brave New World right now. When you're inside, everything looks fine, but you look from the outside, it's a total disaster. Says Fardin Moradi. Yeah, I would say we already in Brave New World has happened already. Yeah, there's a couple little, science fiction type things that are not in our world now, but the general ideas are here. We live in Brave New World now. Julia Taquita, great to see you as always. AJ, it's been a while. I'm glad to see you, and I'm glad to see you. Brasileiros. Oh, sorry. Brasileiros. Okay, thank you. Brasileiros. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. I haven't studied Portuguese, so if I see a Portuguese word, I usually pronounce it kind of like Spanish. See, this is very good. Alexandre Silva says, you were the very first person I could understand speaking in English. That was about 3 years ago. Now I can understand quite well spoken English. I'm very grateful to you. Cheers from Brazil. Right. So it's totally fine. Like some people get a little maybe worried that, I can understand AJ, but I can't understand some other people. But that's fine. It's a great start. If you can understand me, I'm a native speaker. I'm speaking very naturally to you. I'm not reading anything. I'm not, this is not baby talk. This is my natural way of speaking. So you understand me. That's a really good sign. You're understanding me. And, gradually you'll understand other people who maybe speak more quickly or have more accents or, whatever. Okay, one of my favorite topics, so I'll answer it. Usama El Capitano says, what's the difference between judo and jiu-jitsu? That's a really good question. So jiu-jitsu, when we talk about jiu-jitsu now, what we're really talking about is what's called Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, because it was modified, you might say perfected, by the Brazilians, especially the Gracie family, and but it came from judo. So the Gracies, Elio and Carlos, learned jiu-jitsu from a guy who did judo, but kind of an old style of judo. Okay, so judo and jiu-jitsu are very connected in their history. However, nowadays they're different. They have quite different rules for the sport part. So judo over the years, over the last, several decades, 50 years, maybe more. Judo, the rules have been changed and changed and changed. And now judo focuses a lot on standing up and throwing people. They have some techniques on the ground also, where they wrestle kind of on the ground, but it's very limited. So a lot of judo, if you see judo matches, it's at the Olympics, you can get on YouTube. The guys are standing up and they're grabbing each other, right? And then they're trying to throw each other down. And this is probably the main focus, the main skill of judo, is that those takedowns, those throws. And then they'll do a little wrestling on the ground, but I don't remember the rules, but it's only for a short time, and then they have to stand up again. Jiu-jitsu, on the other hand, modern jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, is much more focused on ground fighting. So it's really a kind of a form of wrestling, and they're kind of it's now split into two major kinds. There's the gi, which is that white uniform, like the karate uniform, the judo uniform. That's gi jiu-jitsu. And then there's no gi. Some people just call that grappling, which looks even more like wrestling, right? Very much looks like wrestling. And indeed, now jiu-jitsu is changing, and especially in no-gi jiu-jitsu, it's kind of combining with wrestling. A lot of wrestling methods and techniques are being used in no-gi jiu-jitsu, and they're kind of blending together. So it's much more wrestling focused. Grappling, fighting on the ground. So that's a big difference. That's kind of the judo versus jiu-jitsu. Okay, a few more. Albert Amane 22 says, the book I might be reading next is The Rational Male by Rollo Tomassi. What's your take, AJ? Yeah, read it. You should read it. It's very good. I don't like the general, the general sort of maybe goal of that book sometimes is, meet a lot of women and have sex with them. This kind of one night stand mentality I don't like. But in terms of understanding sort of women and what attracts women and how to create maybe better, have better success with women, right? I think it's a very good book for men to read and understand. Because we get, from the media, we get a really wrong idea. Men are totally, young men especially, well, not just young men, men and generally are very, very confused about this topic. And they don't understand why they're struggling. So it causes a lot of pain. So I think books like that, like The Rational Male, can be very useful for men who are dating. See, this is cool. MZ says, I read a book last year. I couldn't understand it well. But when I read it this year, I was surprised that I could understand 80% of it. Yeah, that's a fun feeling, right? It's a great feeling when you try to listen to something, or you try to read something, or maybe you just try to have a conversation, and it's so tough, it's so hard, it's so difficult. It doesn't go well. And then you put it to the side, and then you come back maybe months later, a year later, and you try it again, and it's much, much, much easier. And this is this very clear idea, this clear experience that, you have improved a lot. You improved a lot. Nataban says, you're such an inspiring person. It's the first time I'm watching you live. I've been watching you since 2013. You motivate me so much. My great motivator. Keep it up. Thank you. I'm glad you could join one live. All right. What happened to my forehead? You can see I got a cut on my forehead. I should say it was jiu-jitsu. It sounds tough. But in fact, I was playing with my son, and he fell on me, and his tooth hit my head and cut my head. I'm okay. Yeah, cool. Abramani again says, I've been learning English for 7 years. After all these years, it has started to feel effortless. Guys, don't rush to the end. Don't be in a hurry. Take your time. That's good advice. Good advice. Nestor says, I tried to join the Gab group every time it shows an error. I don't know why. I don't own Gab. So you might send a message to the Gab support. There's probably some link on there for help. Ask them. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, a couple more and then time to go. Omar says, it would be nice for you to talk about getting admission into American universities. I don't know that. I don't think I know much about that. I mean, I did it when I was young, like 20 years ago. I have a very, very, very negative view of American universities. I would not recommend it, honestly. I don't recommend going to an American university, but if you want to go, I'm not the person to ask how to get in, because I don't know. I know the general idea, get a high test score. Yeah, but especially for people who are from other countries, like international students trying to go to an American university, I don't really know what the requirements are. I know they're different for every school. I just think American universities are garbage. They're crap. They're low quality. They're terrible. So that's my best advice. Don't go. But if you want to go, you may have a good reason to go. So you just got to find someone else. Sorry. Miguel gives me got a comment in Spanish. Says, thanks, Professor. I'm very happy with your method. Hi from Colombia. You have the key to learn English and other languages in a natural way. Oh, thank you. Hetty says, how about going to university in England? Also crap. The West has fallen, guys. Culturally, educationally, everything, spiritually, the West is dead. So, I mean, I know you probably, if you want to do it for language, I get it. I understand. You want to go and you want to go to an English-speaking country, and maybe you feel like I'm ready to go to an English-speaking country, and I can just talk, and really jump my English up. Maybe take classes in English. All of that, I understand that. That, of course, that would be really great for your English. So I do understand that. But the actual classes are going to be crap. They're going to feed you a lot of garbage and junk and political crap and lies. And it's just, it's horrible. There's nothing left in the West. So like people say, they're from I don't know, from China and they want to go study in America, it's like, stay in China. You probably have better universities in China. You probably have better, if you're Thai, go to Thammasat or something, you know. It's going to be just as good as anything in America. Okay. Hi. I'm doing my show. I'm almost done, sweetie. I'm talking. I'm talking on a video. Almost done, sweetie. Yes. Okay. Sorry, my kids were talking to me. And I'm sorry to be negative about the universities. I know that some of you, maybe you really, it's your goal and you have some very good reasons to want to go to England or America or Australia, especially for language. So good luck to you. All right. Fardine says, why don't you come to Iran someday? I would love to go. I think it's a little hard for Americans right now for all the political stuff. In fact, it's hard to go anywhere right now. But I really do hope someday that I can visit Iran. We have a lot of Effortless English fans, very enthusiastic fans in Iran. I would love to go there. I'd love to visit Russia. I mean, there are many countries. There's so many countries. I'd love to go to Brazil. We'll see. Have I ever visited India? Asked Jaskaran. I have been to India 3 times. I would absolutely love to go back to India again. I'd love to do a pilgrimage to India. I would love to visit South India. I've never been to the South. I've visited India 3 times, but always in the North. So, I've heard the South is quite different, but different culturally. I know different food. I know much more tropical feeling, maybe. So I think it'd be quite interesting to go and visit different places in South India. And I'd like to go to Vrindavan as well. Maybe go to Varanasi again. Perhaps Ladakh again. Yeah. Visit us here in Panama, says Edge. Ponce. Yeah, I'd love to go to Panama. Panama, Costa Rica. I've thought about, we've wanted to go and visit and do vacations there before. And right now we're in Japan, so it's pretty far. But when we were in America, it was closer. We just never got there. We got to Honduras and Guatemala and Mexico. But I'd love to see the rest of Central America. I'd love to go to Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, El Salvador. Someday. Have I ever been to an Arab country? Please come to Saudi Arabia. Would love to go to Saudi Arabia too. Saudi Arabia, Syria. There's so many places to go. Right now it's a little hard. My children are young, so it's a little even going to right now. There's still a lot of travel problems. But even without that, right now my children are so young, a little difficult to go do long flights with them. But when they get older, I hope we can get back to making some big trips again. It would be quite fun. All right, almost 1 hour. I'm going to go 1 hour today. Oh, okay, so Amir Jihad says, I have a problem with vocabulary. I just forget them. After I finish the lesson, do you have any advice? Yes, I have the same problem. Exact same problem. So I look on my YouTube or on my website. and find the show, maybe more than one show, with the topic gold list. Gold like the color, or like, gold and silver. Gold list, List. This is how I review vocab now, because I have the exact same problem in Japanese. I forget vocabulary all the time. It just goes in my eyes or ears and goes out again. It's very frustrating. And I don't like Anki. So Anki is a flashcard system, and a lot of people like it. So you could try Anki too. A lot of people really like Anki, so I don't want to say anything bad about it. It's just I don't personally like it. So try Anki. If you don't like that, then you would do something like this, and I'll show you on the screen here. So this is Gold List, and it's just you use a regular notebook. You write out your list of vocab. You make. There's a whole system, so you need to watch the video about how you do it, because every 2 weeks you review the list, and you drop some of the ones and you make a new list, and it's a very big kind of system. But in general, Amir, you need some way to review vocab, right? You just need some way to kind of go back to it, look at it again. It takes a lot of review and repetition with vocab. Depending on the language. Like, I find that Spanish vocabulary is so much easier to remember. It's not a surprise, because a lot of it is similar to English, right? Because they have, roots in Latin. So, I can often see a word in Spanish, even I don't know, but I can kind of guess the meaning because it looks a little like an English word. It's not always correct, but many times I can guess it correctly. In Japanese, cannot do that. All right, it's totally unconnected to English. So, like, every word just seems like totally new that has no connection to anything I know. So for me, it's much harder to remember it. I just forget it constantly. So this may be true for you, depending on your language. If it's farther away from English, it's not connected to English, then vocab's harder to remember, right? So again, like a Spanish speaker, a German speaker, much easier to remember English vocabulary, because the words are going to often look like German or look like something in Spanish, for example. But if you're an Arab speaker, if you're a Japanese speaker, maybe not so much. Hey, Sarah, good to see you. She says it's 4 a.m. in my country. Ooh, wow. You're up early. Have I experienced the process of learning a new language? I'm doing it right now with you guys. As I said, I'm doing the challenge in Japanese. I just put my day 30 video on Gab. So 30 days of doing this. Because like I said, I started 1 month before you. So you can go see my progress in 30 days. If you probably don't speak Japanese, but you can at least get to see how I'm maybe talking a little more quickly. It's a little more relaxed. If you understand Japanese, well, then you'll kind of know what I'm saying. Edge says, is it necessary to make a list of words we forget? Yeah, that we forgot. That's kind of what the gold list system does, is that you make a list, 2 weeks later you review it, and the ones you still don't know, the ones you forgot, you write down again, right, on another part of the page. Then you wait 2 more weeks, review the list again, test yourself. The ones you forgot, you write down again and make another list, and you just keep doing it. And the idea is that you remember a few of them each time. You remember a few, so the list gets shorter and shorter and shorter. Yeah, Hatim is asking again about here. I got cut. Got a cut on my forehead. It's called forehead. Okay, how long is the period between listening ability and speaking? I understand everything, but it's still hard to speak. Okay, so this is called activation. right? It means you have passive skills. You can listen, and that's great. It's really good. That means you're in good position now to start speaking. But it will take time. It's not one day. Now you can just use it all, right? But what you need to do now that you can understand well, your listening ability is good, do this challenge. I know I keep saying that, but do the challenge, because now you're ready to speak a lot. You just need to get active and have a lot of conversations. And, week by week, you'll use more and more of your vocab. Your speaking ability will get better and catch up more. So it's really good that you have good listening ability. That's good. You understand everything you said, so clearly your listening is great. So I'd say you're very ready. Have a lot of conversations. Do our 3-month challenge now and talk a lot. Richard says, everyone who listens to your show will get a big improvement, will get a lot of improvement, not even now, but in the right time. Have a deep breath, enjoy our journey while learning English. Yes. Oh, that's nice. Hedi Hassan says, I live in England. Whenever I go out and talk to people, they tell me my English is very good. They say, how did you learn? And my answer is just AJ Hoge. That's nice. Yeah, Antonio de Lima says, in a video you told us about the first time you went to India. It was so funny. Yes, I have some funny stories about my travels in India. Mehdi says hi. Oh, useful things. A lot of people from Panama today. Musa says hi. Appreciate you. Thank you, Musa. Muhammad says, do you know that the oldest city in the world is located in Iraq? I did not know that. Interesting. Jose, oh, nice. Jose says, hello from Costa Rica, Pura Vida. Nice. I've heard great things about Costa Rica and Panama. They look beautiful. I've seen pictures. It looks, it's my kind of place. Tropical and relaxed. And it looks great. And they speak Spanish, so I could actually talk to people. Nice. Elzara says, hope you will come to the Republic of Crimea someday. Put it on the list. All right. Omar says, I listened to each lesson of your Power English for more than 20 times, and now I can speak without any difficulty or hesitation. Great. Very good. All right, I think we're about done. What's your opinion about the German language? Asked Nivek. So, no opinion at all. I've never studied German, so I don't. I mean, I know it's close. I told you I'm doing this challenge. I'm doing it with this Benny Lewis's group, and someone's learning German, and I listened to her video talking in German. And especially listening, I can actually kind of guess some of the words just because they sound kind of like English. That's all I know about German. Alicia says, hello from Bangkok, Thailand. Hey, good to see someone from Bangkok. I used to live there. Back to you again, since I know you before 5 or 6 years. I saw you on the internet. Nice. All right, I'll do one more and then time to go. Okay. Okay, it says, here in Panama, there are a lot of businesses looking for English speakers. That is the reason we're looking for your help. I get it. Yeah, and I think that's the reason a lot of people are learning English. Either some people want to travel, some people need it for school, but I think a lot of people, it's useful for getting a job or making more money or something like that. So good for you. It makes sense. Panama, Costa Rica, I'm sure get a lot of tourism from the gringos. So speaking some English, right? And then of course also just international business. English is very useful as well. So good luck to you all. And I hope to visit Panama someday, Costa Rica, all the countries everyone mentioned someday. All right, lots of love to you guys. Join my VIP program at effortlessenglishclub.com and join the challenge now. There's still time. Join now. See you next time.